Hi, welcome back to the channel, Train Station 2. Feeling really lucky. We got two legendary trains, one from those daily bonus and the other one from a 1-star container. First time I'm getting from a 1-star container legendary train in Region 4. Really happy. And I'm going to share with you this interesting fact. In my last video I mentioned that I'm going to experiment whether if you enter the competition late, it will be easier. Yes, indeed, it happens to be true, but I don't know whether is it really coincidence, but I'm going to do that again in the next competition. But in this competition, when I started late, indeed, the comparators are easier. So I'm going to show you that later on. And of course, very soon, I'm going to show you my first legendary train, which I got from a 1-star container. Alright, so this is the ranking chart as a start. Not too difficult, I must say. Really very different from the last two competitions. Alright, 1-star container. It's amazing, right? Spending 100 keys for a 1-star container, and we got a legendary train in return. I'm really happy with this. And surprisingly, the same train, the same legendary electric train with 60 capacity was given to me as part of the daily bonus. So this is really very interesting. So these trains, two of them the same kind, comes in back to back on this video. So I'm going to share with you this fun information. And started off not too bad at 6th position, given the fact that I'm being stuck with the two huge roadblocks, which is the 80 EP, which I only have one train into service, which I mentioned in my previous video. I'm being forced to basically go and exchange the event coins for 1000 gold, and then duplicates removal of my region 1 to 3 trains in order to basically allow this current only one diesel epic to be upgraded in order to clear that two huge obstacles. So I'm still stuck with one. That's why when I started, I only have a head start of 120 EP points. Instead, normally I will so-called choke up about 160 EP points. But surprise, surprise, the competitors are really very different. You know, when I first started the competition, it was quite late at night, and when I woke up in the morning, doesn't change a lot. So this is very different. A very different group of people who cherish sleep more than the game. I really appreciate where I am, because in the last two competitions, as I mentioned, I set an alarm and then start the competitions on the dot, which means that 10 minutes before the competition starts, I will have logged into the system, waiting for the competitions to start. At that second, I'll click it in. So probably those are really very strong competitors I'm facing in the last two competitions. I'm really hoping I may get top 3 this round, hopefully, so that I can claim back some of those event coins which I basically spend in advance to exchange for gold to upgrade my epic diesel. So currently I'm only left with 250 event coins. I will need another 750 more. If I happen to get second, that will allow me to get 250. So I will need at least 3 competitions, and I get second in each of them. So this is my target. Of course, I don't know whether is it a coincidence. As I mentioned, I started about 2 to 3 hours late on purpose, as I mentioned, because I read somewhere people started 6 hours late and they find the competition so easy. So I wouldn't dare to take the risk of 6 hours, so I took in between from where I started 0, basically start immediately, and the 6 hours took a 3-hour break. Alright, so this is the daily bonus, and guess what? Alright, so I have achieved 2 of these GG1s in this video, although I've one that already upgraded to 30 but nonetheless, I'm really happy with two legendary trains coming back to back with each capacity of 20. So imagine there's one double restriction that requires electric legendary. I'll be celebrating because I have three legendary trains of such kind. So this is something really happy. I mean, day to day, when we got the 1-star container, this is what we got: common trains, and common trains. But this is the first time I'm getting a legendary train in Region 4. I've always been grumbling about not getting enough legendary trains in Region 4. And this is after I woke up. So can you imagine that? Nothing has changed drastically. If this competitions had happened in those first two, probably I'll be a few hundred points away. But not for this competition. It seems to be fairly good. I'm not too sure whether is it because the competitors are same situation as me, i.e. start with the 80 EP with one train. So I'm hoping that for them as well, because I suffered that. So at least we have a fair start, because otherwise if they are all having the 40 EPs, then they will be very fast ahead. So I'm really hoping that works. Currently, what I always do, as I mentioned in my previous videos, for the event, always keep your factory busy. Basically spend a bit of time, just a couple of minutes, collect those iron and coal, so that you can basically produce steel factory busy. Alright, in this iron mill as well, you can do all the nails, or you can do all the iron powder. Then of course, if you could afford a bit of time, create the railway, so-called the railroad revolutions items in that railroad factory itself. So this is a few factories that you keep yourself busy with, and then before you head on to deliver those stuff. And of course, furniture I always keep to the brim, which I will just have for tables and chairs standby. And likewise for the timber, it's already full, so I'm not going to do anything about that. For the food ones, not really. This is the first time we got a food item in the delivery, so I'm quite surprised, and it's not too difficult. As for the glue and those gasoline, I don't think they will ask for it in the event. So far I've not encountered really, so no big issue. So I'll just keep at least minimally two of the factories busy, together with the event factory. I think three of them busy, that is sufficient. The rest of it, I'm not going to really put efforts to do that. And meanwhile, always try to clean up your warehouse space by removing those singular items, i.e. single digit, or things that you don't really require, so that you have more space. Of course, if you have a large warehouse, then ignore this advice, because I have a very tiny warehouse to manage. So that's a problem I always face, and I find the most efficient way to manage it. So currently with 6 trains, this lazy Harry has went back to sleep. So 6 hours later, then we'll wake him up again. So food processing plants, nothing much. Chemical refinery, nothing much. As I mentioned, I don't really focus too much on those, but I focus on this railroad factory and the 2 other factories to keep them busy. Then as and when, if possible, I'll try to produce stuff, and then while waiting, and keep them in the warehouse. Okay, so just gonna collect more coins, because coins are really a desperate need for upgrading of trains. So probably I'll go around the world, or basically my world, of the 4 regions to collect the coins just for one upgrade, which is really expensive, as I mentioned in Region 4. If you're still enjoying a Region 1, 2 and 3, do not rush. Continue to stay in that region before you enter Region 4, or if you could, gather lots of cash before you enter Region 4. I mentioned previously how I planned for Region 3 transit to Region 4 was that I save up a lot of those meta keys. I save up 3,000 meta keys, so I could have 25 trains. Container opening, what I do was that I open 20 of those 100 keys, and I open 5 of those 200 keys. Based on my experience, the 200 keys not that worth it actually, because sometimes they give you common trains. So I think among the 5 containers are open with 200 keys each, I got probably 2 or 3 common trains, so not really worth it. As for the common so-called the one-star container with 100 keys. Based on chances, it seems like you're able to generate more of those higher quality trains itself. So my advice, if you could really spend 3,000 keys, keep the proportion, alright? So it's 2,000 on the 1 star and 1,000 keys on the 2 stars. So you can get 25 containers open when you transit into region 4, or even if any other region that you transit to. And of course, I did mention, emphasize again, region 4 upgrading is really expensive. If you could gather as much money as you could in your regions before you move on, upgrade all the trains that you could in your old region, and collect as many as you could on the upgrade materials, because these are really crucial. Every single upgrade in the region 4 is a pain. So this is why events are really important, because event coins, every 10 coins give you 1000 gold. That is good for one upgrade in region 4, but I believe in region 1, 2 and 3, 1000 coins go a long way, but region 4, no, it's just one upgrade. So that's the reason why I said you've got to save a lot before you move on to region 4. Don't rush, right? So slowly climb back to the ranks above, because I'm awake right now. So I'm trying to catch up a bit in the ranks, because I had a very good peaceful sleep last night, because I know that that late entering into competition works, so I did not really need to set up alarm clock to wake up like every 2 hours or so to enter into the competitions. So at least I had one good sleep after the 2 tiring competitions that I didn't spend too much time sleeping. And of course, the results wasn't that fantastic after all. Now I know why, because I'm fighting with the best players, those that doesn't sleep in Train Station 2 in my first 2 events. I think this third competitions players suits me better. We basically need those sleeps, and definitely at a more relaxed pace of playing the game. Do we really need to do that in such a game? Up to individual. Probably if it's over the weekend, I think is better. Otherwise, on a weekday basis, schooling and working may be a killer. So this is some of the thoughts. So of course, game is for you to enjoy. Take your time. Do not rush to upgrade your levels, because once you hit to the next region, it's no longer as fun as you thought. In the earlier regions are definitely much better, but of course everybody always wanted to play any game to upgrade fast and move on. But I must urge you to just reconsider that. Train Station 2, take it slow in upgrading your so-called levels. Upgrade your trains capacity up, so-called have a large fleet, save a lot of metal keys, a lot of cash, a lot of upgrade materials. That's the key to have building a strong foundation before you transit to the next region. So that is how you should play this called Train Station 2, based on the pitfalls I have encountered. So I'm just sharing with you. You can see there, after a bit of work, I'm back to third. Of course, probably player 1 is really good, but I'm really happy if we end with second. Alright, I hope you enjoy this video, and probably I'll try again to enter the competitions, the 4th one, late again, so that I can get better sleep. Alright, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.